What's up, Rachel, Savage, Chris? I said I don't know who's first. I got Rachel first and Savage second. Chris Griffin. Okay, so Savage barely got beat out. Ferocious Curie. Hey, Kirsten. Carol Dior's trying to do some computer technical type stuff here. Y'all bear with me. I should probably confess I just don't want to. No. Ni sì, no. Poi senti, siamo a uh, yeah. AC 103. Miss anybody yet? Chris Griffin. Okay, that's it. There we go. Dun, 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 dun. D-Day. Brian Morlock. It's more about the conversation than it is about the thumbs ups, I would think. Anyway, actually had an idea for, or well, was gonna one of the points where B was talking. I was gonna try to remember to carry that on, and then the conversation drifted so many different places. I can't remember what it was. Um, but yeah, if you don't have real legitimate friends, if in today's society, if you don't have real legitimate friends outside of your household, you're screwed. If you don't have real legitimate friends outside of your county, you're really screwed because you're not always in your county. You're not always in your home. You need people. The human animal is designed by the Most High, if you will, or genetically predisposed to, if you want it that way, or because of the course of evolution, is designed to be with other human beings. It cannot just be a man, his wife, and their children forever and a day. Your children are going to have to do kind of nasty, gross things if they want to have more children. See? Got to be other people. It's all the way down as base as you want to get with it. Get out and make real friends. Whether it's comfortable or not, you need to get out and make real friends. That was one of the things that he talked about. Thanks, paid attention, closer attention to the chat this time than, to the podcast than the chat. There was enough wrenches in there. I figured if anybody went off that y'all could handle it. Walmart and guns. Dior's actually did a doohickey or whatever. And ask about the Walmart and the open carry and the ammunition and stuff like that. Walmart didn't come out and say, you cannot bring your guns in here. They actually worded that thing to where it doesn't make any sense at all. What ammunition they're going to quit carrying when they finish the stock that they have in. It didn't say the stock in the stores. I mean, they got to go through the stock in the warehouses, the stuff they've already ordered and paid for. You know, there's not a shortage of ammunition at my water well. They had to say something elsewise they were going to have people kicking down their door. They were going to have all the purple shirts and yellow underwear and rainbow unicorn mohawk ear pierced weenie through the nose pink hat wearing people carrying signs all over the front of the building. Walmart's racist because they won't stop selling Afro curl or whatever. You know, they had to do something. So they did something. They bought themselves some room. There is a website out there, which I wish I still had it, that lists all of the big companies out there that are against the Second Amendment. And people shop there all the time. You never hear anybody busting their chops. CVS hates your guns. Who else? Kroger's, isn't it Kroger's? Well, all your grocery stores. We used to have one that was okay with it, but then they sold out to Albertsons, bigger chain, which has a problem with it. There's just the list of companies that are actually doing more against your First, Second, Third, Fourth Amendment rights they're flying under the radar because the media is using the word Walmart. In that way, everybody's attention goes to that. And then nobody bothers to find out that Johnson & Johnson is, doing this, that, and everything else, paying to have babies harvested early so that they can do research or whatever. I'm not saying they do that because that would be like off. I'm just saying you never know what's going on. Who was it that come to find out they were pro-choice and they were in the baby food business? It was just weird. I can't remember. That's back from the 90s. Yeah, I mean, and you got to check with a small company. Is the company if you're really that against it, are you willing to risk your steady paycheck to do your deal, or are you, There's a lot of people say, "Viva la Revolution" or whatever, right? They finna start charging you people for your own damn water in California. I ain't seen no barricades go up. I haven't seen no rural communities go in there and like set tires on fire in the streets leading up to the courthouse or the state capitol or nothing. What's going on? What? If you're not gonna do something about that, you're not gonna do anything about anything. You're just gonna let them go ahead and make the hot dog, butter the bun, and put the wiener in her. It's if If that's not going to set you off, you're not going to go off. So, yeah. Answer me that. And is it a real deal, or is it something the news is blowing out of proportion? Is it just a county or a few counties? If it's just a few counties, then do something about it. Why does the city get to steal your rural water supply? Because if they're planning on metering it, that means that they bought it, they plan on harvesting it and selling it to other people also. But yeah, you can go to the gun show but it's okay if they put a meter on somebody else's private property and charge them for their own property. I'm just saying.
We had an active shooter training at work. We asked if we could shoot him. They said that's against the law.
Where's that at, D-Day? Yeah, the last place I worked in the oil field had a strict no gun policy. We used to hunt quail and dove and deer and stuff on the company property all the time. But how many people have checked it to see if they actually own the water underneath their house or underneath their property? All that West Texas land over there that's for sale super cheap, don't buy it. Somebody else owns the water. Well, a lot of it. Hey, Walter, Zach, anybody else I missed? Anybody else? Tibor. Gotcha, dude, snuck in here. You still working the night shift, Grouchy? What you finally get off of that? Are you rotating back onto it? That and you were trying to get all the stuff ready for the end of the year, right? Which that to a lot of people, they don't realize that's actually a really hard push right now for some things. The one plant we have here, just one side of the road, it takes months to go through all the meters. Hey, Keith. I miss having the paycheck from the oil field. I miss a lot of the guys I worked with too, but I get too focused on what I'm doing, and the peripheral gets me in trouble all the time. The too many near misses, so the misses developed an issue with the oil field. Dang. I got offered an instrument man job I don't know, 20 years ago. I was like, man, there's no way, that is so boring. Wish I'd have took it now. It's safe. You don't put them in or anything. You just like fix them. But literally, you're like in the same little room all day long. You don't even hear about all the people dying in the oil patch, man. They just don't talk about it. Hey, Okie, do me a favor. I mean, a good comment, but yeah, could you retract that, please? We don't promote that behavior on my channel. I mean, they got my address. The government can't own the rain. That's the people in Oregon, when they started charging them for catching rainwater or finding them or whatever, they should have made the little burn piles too. They should have. They should have. It's just crazy. Hey, Watchful and Aaron. Yeah, we had a blowout here, a CO2 well blowout. I probably shouldn't say it. That sucker spewed for close to 6 months, dude. They couldn't get anybody loose to come close it. It had 150-foot jet of you could see. You could see the discoloration in the air for 150 foot up of, well, just going up out of the ground. So, whoops. People are like, I want cheaper gas. I want cheaper energy. Oh my God, we can't have none of that $3 a gallon gas. $3 a gallon gas, why all that child support's getting paid because all them guys making that $18 an hour. Why is my scrolling thing not scrolling? Is it? I mean, think about it. I mean, that's because the people downriver from you are buying it. What comes down over the rain that hits the roof of my house, that's mine. The end. If I want to catch every drop of it, I can. Now, going and building it, if there was a creek running through the back of my property and I dammed it up, yeah, I can see having an issue with that. You shouldn't be able to dam up the rivers and creeks, shutting off the supply of water to the people downriver from you. Catching what the rain that hits my gutters or my ceiling or roof and runs down my gutters, that, unless I've got 70,000 square foot of roof or something, that would be a little crazy. That'd be a lot of water. But why is it not scrolling down? Yeah, people don't have any clue. They think you drill a hole. And back in the day, you did. You drilled a hole, put some casing, wellhead, whatever. Anyway, you did some stuff. And then you put a pump jack on it, and it made you money. Doesn't work that way anymore. But anyway, let's see. What else was they talking about over there that was actually relatively interesting? Besides Power Rangers. I will not embarrass my children by calling out which one of them was the Red Ranger. Yeah, Power Rangers been around a while.
But they were always stupid, but they've gotten more stupid.
I watched the old Power Rangers because you can do that. And then I watched one of the new ones, about like 5 minutes of it. And then I had to go vomit because, my brain was spinning. It was it was that big of a jump. It was like from, drinking too strong a coffee to taking 2 hits of acid. Not that I would know what that feels like, but basically that big a jump in 20 years. Well, it takes work to keep anything going, but windmills are a joke, man. Windmills and solar, both of them are a joke. You've literally, wherever you put that solar array up, the solar panels and stuff, you literally can't let anything live in there. You can't have plant life growing up around it and under it. You've got to keep all the weeds killed. So you've just got miles after miles after miles of solar panels. Because you can't have mice chewing on wires. You can't have dirt daubers building this. You can't blah, blah, blah. So, yeah, we're saving the planet by not killing trees or making CO2. But there's no plants to convert the carbon in the atmosphere back to plant matter and expel oxygen. Windmills. Well, oil field too. There's actually no real money in energy. There's two. Our economy's already gone too socialist. We already can't support ourselves. We've got too many people getting stuff for not doing their fair share. And most, believe it or not, this ought to make me some enemies. it's not so much the people who are on food stamps and welfare. Jimmy Joe Jackson starts a shoe store. Next thing you know, Jimmy Joe Jackson has a shoe factory. The next thing you know, Jimmy Joe Jackson has 100 shoe stores and 2 factories. Jimmy Joe's kids ain't never done nothing but play Frisbee and Xbox all day long. They don't know nothing. They got out of school and everything. He paid for their college. They got to have a job. So next thing you know, they get a high paying. He makes a high paying job. So his kids, he can write his kids a check and not feel like he's just like supporting his little loser basket case, should have hit the wall and got washed off kid. So there you go. You've got $250,000, $300,000 a year going to some guy who does nothing for it. I would be willing to bet that 1 out of 100 jobs paying over 70 a year are those types of jobs. Now, that young person doesn't realize that the only reason they're working at that firm is because their great uncle knew a guy and was able to get him a job because their uncle or their dad or whatever made a call to the great uncle who called another guy who got him hooked up in this job because they're part of a section of totally useless people that have college degrees that can't get a real job because there is no need for somebody to design flowers for freaking paper towels. There's no need to have somebody making $150,000 a year to decide what color cell phone cases need to be. These jobs are made up. And it's okay. Because those jobs keep the money in the cesspool or moat rather around the 1% or the 1% of the 1%. Then the 1% keeps all them people swimming, all them little sharks and piranhas swimming around in the moat or whatever. And then us little people out on the outside, we're actually coming to that pool, that moat, to drink. And that's where all the, McDonald's jobs come from, grocery store jobs, the real ones where you actually sack the groceries. I don't know, some places don't have that. Somebody stocking the shelves. There's a guy driving around with a truck full of potato chips. He does it all day long. He probably leaves the house at 3 o'clock in the freaking morning every day so that he can get done by 3 o'clock in the afternoon so he can start over again the next day. So you can have fresh potato chips. There are some other jobs out there that, like, service jobs are necessary, but they don't produce anything. If a job does not actually produce a physical, tangible job item, or in a real and tangible way affect the production of distribution of, it's not actually making anything. A product that, I can't say, look, I'm selling these little pieces of wax paper. That's my job. Couldn't the person that wanted little pieces of wax paper just buy them from the store I got, or from the warehouse I got them from? Yeah. But now, the store I got them from, they can't make them.
Why does this comment have to be approved?
Who's that?
Yours says, it doesn't say anything bad, but it had to be approved.
Yeah, that, trust me, dude, there are six-figure salary jobs out there in the liberal arts, and they're manufactured jobs. When a university finds an individual of the right mindset, political, whatever, if he toes the line of the school and is willing to spew the same thing they're spewing and have been since the 50s and 60s, they will make him a job, and they will allow him to stay in class and borrow money for the rest of his natural life, and then pay him. They will put him on salary as long as he stays there. And if it's a government funded school, like if it's a university or whatever, they can actually, after working there for so long, all those hundreds and hundreds of thousands of dollars of student loan, they will just start peeling off, and he won't owe them anymore, or she. And then they've got this person that's in debt to them, that's actually a slave to the university, that owes everything they have to this university. And all they have to do to stay in good graces is continue to preach the leftist, socialist, indoctrinating stuff that makes more and more college graduates good servants, good slaves to the thems and the theys. But at least they're slaves. We're not even slaves. We're just the peasants. I mean, the slaves live better than the free folk do. How messed up is that? And that was actually some of the problem with the Civil War. There was a lot of the Northern soldiers that treated the African Americans poorly when they emancipated them, because they were a little pissed. Back here. Is that what you do in my prepper cultural liaison program manager? Is that what you do? Is that even a real thing? I'm just asking. Uh, well, that's what people don't get with large breed dogs, is sometimes the pecking order requires that one dies. Uh, Rarely, but sometimes. That's why I don't keep more than a dog or two. Honestly, I never keep more than one dog. All the other dogs I've ever had were grand dogs. My little brat still in here listening? You still in here listening, daughter? Probably not. She hadn't said anything for a while. Oh, my head's about to explode. What do you think? Anyway, there's actually uh, conflict resolution representative or specialist. That's a thing. Who was it? I knew that's what their job was. Who was that? Conflict resolution specialist.
Basically, what's wrong with that,
Yeah, but I mean, she's in the detention business or whatever. But still, I mean, yeah. But just I mean, they just got all this. No, I mean the foremans are supposed to get together and have a beer after work and figure out whether or not their departments are getting along right. Two of the foremans don't get along, get new foremans. Don't just fire one. I mean, you grown ass men or women or whatever, get along together. It's your job. Get over it. Grow up. If they can't or want, cut them loose. That's another thing that's wrong with the country. Too many people get to keep their job whether they deserve it or not. Just showing up does not entitle you to be there. You don't deserve a job just because you're alive. I'm sorry, you don't deserve to be alive because you're alive. You're alive. So are the rest of us. Earn your spot. Everybody else has to. There are people that need more help than other people. And I'm cool with that. Seriously, I am. But there's no way that I am going to pay my entire life into a retirement fund, Social Security, and just so that you can take your entire life off and paint in chalk on the sidewalk in your underwear. And there's nothing wrong with you. That's your form of expression, and you're entitled to just as much as I am because, well, you're alive and you're a spirit and you're in touch with your one sharpness. No, get a life. You are useless. You are a booger. If you want to do that stuff, do it, but get a job. What's that?
Did you see Kilder's?
No, I have not seen Kildere's comment. I can't see Kildare. There he is.
He doesn't mean to change the subject.
Oh, have you done a video yet? Kildare, I'm glad it worked out, man. I guess I can stretch this other one, and that's how I might take it out and thaw it. It's been frozen a while. I don't know if it'll still work. I kind of forgot about it. I can take it out and thaw it and stretch it and see if it will, though. I'm still looking for me a hat. I have found a few places that sell the hat blanks, which is what I need, but I can't get any definitive size on them. So, yeah. Made you say what?
Rachel had said, I need brownies and pumpkin bread. And so Zach says, Rachel, don't mention the P word. And she said, what? Pumpernickel? He's like, no, pumpkin.
Nah, she got you there, dude. Nice. That's pretty slick. Dude, down south at Huntsville and stuff, the guys time it so when the girls or the women are walking by doing the cell checks or whatever, they can hurl it through the bars. If prison guarding is not a woman's job.
Well, it gives the guys something to jerk off to.
Yep, that's it. Have like 3 videos uploaded that I should probably release to y'all to watch sometime or another. One of them is me making mead out of cactus juice. I may put that on West S, the real one, or Small Onion. I don't know. Tell me one more. It's working. It's coming along nice. It's still cooking. It's cooking up a storm.
Dry fire, what happened?
Oh, nothing. Just that's the top. Okay. Thanks, Dry Fire, because now you like made me remember what I was wanting to talk about when I did the after show. You never know when it's going to happen. There's no way, unless you're a hermit, of knowing where you're going to be when it happens. And even the hermit has to leave his cave sometimes. You can increase the chance of it happening when you're at point A with your lifestyle choices and your behavior and stuff, but you cannot guarantee your location when shit hits the fan. There's no way. Thank you, Dior's. Oh, they do a deal. Uh, boom, Dior's. I don't have. Yeah, dude. I don't have the thing to go. Ah, that doesn't work. Oh, that's right. I was cooking bugs today. Oh, there we go. Every time, because that's BA said, how we talk about stuff or whatever. And that was said it in my live streams before. When we do road trips and stuff, which I wish we could do more. It takes us months to pay for every one we take. It literally we have to. It's we're not filthy rich people. It's really not easy to take those road trips. But
it's worth it.
It's worth it. It is well worth it. I mean, we can.
Yeah, we're about due for another one.
Yeah, we are. Put it all in savings or freaking spend it all and die destitute. Kids are young, they can work for their own shit. The you've got to have friends in the world, so that way your plan B's and C's are a whole lot more like your plan A's. The total population of white-tailed deer in the county of my residence is less than 3,000. There's more in some of the other counties close to me, but there are less in some of the ones further away from me. There are counties up north, up there by, between me and Robert, where the deer population is in the hundreds. They're not even allowed to hunt because the deer population is so low. But people are like, well, they'll just run to the hill. There's no animals out there. It's cultivated land where all of the game migrated to eat and get fat is plowed dirt. There's no animals. So yeah, you might want to rethink that. There's deer everywhere here too when you're out driving at night. Like, holy crap, where are all these things? And you realize it's because the sides of the road are cultivated, weeded. They mow them regularly. They retain more moisture there. The weeds and grass are more juicy and tender in the bar ditch. But then you go out there and you do counts on people. One of the highest populations we have, densities we have, the guy did on 8,000 acres, that 163 deer. And like there's some that's higher, and it's come up because we were having a drought. But plan B, running out into the woods and living out of your bug out bag, you're going to die. if your inch bag is a box of bullets, some snare wire, and a tent, and 100 other pounds of gear, and you know how to use it, within 3 months, you're going to be reduced to eating people. If there's any of them left free ranging that haven't already started eating people, and then you're going to be out there trying to shoot each other, not because you're mad at each other, but because you want to eat the other guy's face. There's not enough game out there. That's the other side of it. Boy, there's a whole lot more two-legged pigs running around in Ohio too than there is in my part of the world. We want to. It's just, Ohio's north, so north is a lot further than east to west. I'm probably not going to get this hair all one length, baby. This stuff's driving me nuts. Make my ears stick out. The average deer cleaned out has enough protein calories to support 2 people for 7 days. So if you've seen 30 deer, that's probably all the deer that are going to come on your property, or 30 deer. So 7 times 3. Tell me how many weeks of protein you would have if nobody else was shooting at those deer. Sorry, Rachel. It's a thing. I mean, they've talked about cannibalism all the way back. I mean, it's I don't know. What? Robert's trying to get in here. He can't. Robert, hey, Mitch, he's trying to get in here and he's not having luck. Yeah, his internet can't get on his phone. I'm like reading your text on, or giving everybody all your personal information on my live stream, brother. Sorry about that. A little, sort of. I will be premiering a video. It's going to. There's 2 versions of it. One of them's 57 minutes long, and one's 42 minutes long. I believe that I will premiere the 57-minute one. And then I'll just put the other one on Patreon if somebody wants to go over there and watch it. Anyway, one of the 2. I'm going to premiere one of them and put the other one on Patreon. It's like the longest kitchen cook I've ever done. Because it takes a long time to do that stuff. In case y'all wondering. Nets, you got to eat the organs and everything, Savage. I got the info from something. I mean, we're not talking, you can't just like eat the meat. You got to break the bone, boil the soup, all the whole 9 yards. You eat the whole animal. the whole animal. Um,
Bone marrow soup or whatever you're supposed to be doing, bone broth.
you know, you've got to, I mean, they didn't, everybody's like, uh, and when they did it in a feast or whatever, but regular time, they didn't throw none of that stuff away. They spent all spring and summer trying to get fat. They tried to go into winter fat. Yeah, but the downside to and Dior, that's a legitimate option. Nobody gets this part though. Yay, I'm going to raise my own meat with my chickens and my rabbits. Where you going to get the feed? Can't free graze rabbits. Little shits will run off. And you're free ranging the chickens. If you're not able to feed them and keep them close, guess what? They're not going to stick around. The further away from you they roam, the less and less roam home. Because there's other stuff out there looking for free protein. You've got to be able to be self-sustainable. Each farm, you can do it on 40 acres. A family can feed itself on 40 acres. But that's about it. You have to raise your own hay. You have to raise your own feed. You have to raise your own vegetables. You have to produce your own dairy to live a happy, healthy life. And guess what? You still don't have any clothing. So yeah, it's crazy.
So I said, Mike, you don't have to worry about people trying to sneak up on you. They see you take out running.
I doubt that'll work out for you very well, honey.
You know, not everybody likes chunky monkeys.
Yeah, rabbits are really lean. If I was going to pick between rabbits or chickens, I would choose the chickens. Chickens are a lot easier to keep around. They stick closer, and they convert the excess feed to fat. You can take uh, grains and stuff that you don't want to eat that aren't palatable or whatever. It's like I don't want to spend all day eating those little tiny sunflower seeds out there, but I can grow the crap out of them. And then I can feed them to the chickens. And then chickens eat the sunflower seeds, and they turn the sunflower seeds into fat and then the eggs. Ducks make a good fat, but domestic ducks are only a good deal if you've got access to a pond, which will grow pond scum, which will allow your ducks to eat the pond scum. Um, it's about that cold front should hit y'all first, Chipper, squirrel. Um, quite honestly, that's why I started. That's some of my first videos on my channel are about me experimenting with a raccoon, which sent me down a dark path of eating really weird stuff. There's some of the people in the chat here that know what I ate today. Videos processed, by the way, guys. But yeah, since then I've learned a lot, and I'm still learning. I am working diligently to get evicted from my comfortable air conditioned world and wind up having to walk 8 and 10 miles a day so I can eat. That's retarded. But there you go. Everybody's got to have a hobby. Were you scared to ask, Biddy? Nothing. This is a really cool title. I'm going to go back to naming my live stream something fun and interesting to make people come over and see what's going on. Uh, Mostly. Oh, what I ate. Oh, that. You'll think it's okay. It's probably saying it's something you would do. Maybe. Sort of. Maybe. Probably not. I don't know.
See what else I-
Hobby. My wife bore me a hobbit. Sweet Pea's a little hobbit. Or Kiri the Terrible or whatever, was it now?
No, she's cute.
Okay. Zach, go ahead and amend. $51 with a slight bruise can be cool.
Good chance I would eat it. It's my love.
True. C103, true. Why would you eat food from 1952? But it's probably got spam in it, which makes it okay. Steve got done with his lunch, supper, whatever he was doing. Corsair. The Waka. I had to swear off Beaver.
It was good.
I stopped myself from saying the rest of that joke. But anyway, oh, just barely. It was a bet. This is ham and eggs. Gross. Not having coffee on the porch of my boxers today. Have I been on there that long? Oh, just an hour. No, I have like a really, really lot of stuff left to talk about anyway. It was blew my 3 days of diet all to pieces, though. So I didn't eat the stupid candy I found. Actually, I've been eating some stuff that's seriously out of date, just a little bit here and there to see what happens. Nothing happens. If you open the can and it's still good, then nothing's going to happen. It might not actually be good. In theory, stored in the right environment, canned vegetables are not going to ever poison you. They may not, after a few hundred years, look like vegetables anymore. But what they are made up of is going to remain the same. It's all going to be in the can, in theory. Did Rob get in for a minute? We didn't stay in here long again. It's, dude, is it a storm or something? Let me see. I've had pickles, homemade pickles that were like, maybe not should have ate them, but they're 10 years old and I ate them. But they didn't kill me. They weren't very pickly. Well, they were still pickly. They just weren't firm anymore. D-Day out. Not D-Day. Diaper baby. I gotta go watch Corsair's latest tabletop. I started to do it earlier, but I didn't. We had the grandkids this morning. Ah, they're doing that upgrade. I'm guessing they did it here the other day. Took flipping forever. No, I'm gonna call it quits on that. I got a caffeine headache right now. No, I did not, Corsair, and asked me if I would. Just because, I mean, would I do it if I had ham and crackers? How old's the ham and crackers? Okay, the ham and crackers are fresh. Fresh ham and crackers or 9-day old dashboard cheeseburger from McDonald's. Yep. Uh, they all operate, believe it or not, they operate through the same cell towers, boss. Uh, well, that's not entirely true. Uh, Internet's converted to radio, which is broadcast, redirected, scrambles, and on down the line. Cell phone service, radio broadcast, transmitted, retransmitted, received, whatever. um, that's why it's so easy to walk over each other whenever you're trying to talk on the phone, because there's a few milliseconds between the both people, whatever. You're not actually trying to talk over the other person. It just happens that way. Do you need any of that curly doc yet, Robert? Just trying to wait for me and Robert to have a conversation, huh? I mean, they're not like the internet and the phone aren't tied together, but they operate off the same thing. And some of them run through the same places. And if they're doing an equipment upgrade at one tower, there's a pretty good chance they've got to kill all the power to the tower. Blah, 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 blah. Rob can't keep up with the live stream. He can't stand live stream. I'm having a conversation with him and he can't hear me. I'm very sad. Um, how to ruin food. Put jalapenos in. The end. Jalapeno cheese is not for human consumption. Jalapeno cornbread is not for human consumption. Jalapenos do not go in an omelet. Jalapenos do not belong in gumbo. Jalapenos do not belong on a freaking hamburger. No, Rachel, they do not. Well, they can go anywhere they want to as long as they don't get anywhere near my food. Wow. Now, jalapeno poppers are good. armadillo eggs, whatever you call them. There are some stir fries that jalapenos can go with. Now, a little bit of jalapenos in the menudo might actually soften up the freaking stomach, which still doesn't make it palatable. I don't know. I eat menudo if I'm starving and I have no options. I just don't like jalapenos. Oh yeah, Aaron. Did you find out anything? And y'all will forgive me if I feel or seem distracted this evening. I am. Well, we're all waiting for an answer. I'll try to have a premiere ready for Tuesday night, and I may premiere the big long video like Friday or something. We'll see. I was going to do it tonight, and then I was like, you know what? I'm going to do all that. And it's the coolest teacher thing ever. It's like you can put your chalk in it. You put your chalk in your pocket and it doesn't get you all white. You see, I think it's cool. I found it. I've been playing with it. I don't have a chalkboard though. I have a whiteboard. I want a chalkboard. Yep, pretty much clickbait. You have to go back to the very beginning and watch from then. We were actually just following through with some of the conversations we had in the live stream previous to this. It's going to wink in and out. It did it down here when they were doing it on the internet and actually the LTE or our cell phone or whatever, the internet for the cell phone is still the internet. You know, wherever your cell phone tower is, then it talks to wherever your internet is. It doesn't go over the telephone lines. You can have internet and not have cell phone service. You can have cell phone service and not have internet. But anyway, our internet was all jacked up for, I don't know, 30 or 40 days. Seems like. You know, they would get it fixed and then it'd give them grief for 4 or 5 hours. It was like every 2 or 3 days it'd go down for a couple hours. It was really getting annoying. Yes, they are Dior's. That's why I have one. Wow. Yeah, Christy makes good sauerkraut. That's for sure. We usually cover all the stuff in the title for the live streams in the first 30, 45 minutes of the stream. So, yeah. We couldn't, I mean, it wouldn't matter what it was. It wouldn't matter if it was World War III. There wouldn't be an hour and 21 minutes worth of talking. I mean, for crying out loud, uh, sitting CNN, we can't talk about Russian collusion for 2 years. I mean, not enough to say. Yeah. Yeah. If I had it open, I would, Diorce. I don't have, I can't run YouTube. My internet sucks. I can't run YouTube and the StreamYard at the same time. I can hook you up. Uh, so you can next time. I don't even know who in here's uh, got a blue wrench. I don't know if I get super chats or anything from in here. Hey, try. I actually prefer watching in the YouTube chat because it's easier to read. I like cabbage. Okay, well, I don't, I might get him a thing. I don't have as many wrenches as I used to have. I don't know if any of the people that are in here are people that actually lost their wrench or not. Um, the trying to figure out a way to be all politically correct or whatever. The wrench is a sign of, to me, is more a sign. It's not just a, hey, yeah, you're part of my team. It's, hey, I can trust you with my personal information. I can trust you not to be playing stink finger with me. So, there are a lot of people out here that get their feelings hurt real bad. I don't know if this is going to let me go back far enough or not. Hokey Storm Chaser left, huh? See, now I like Brussels sprouts to a degree. Sorry, I'm in the middle of doing something. If y'all don't say something interesting over here in this chat, ain't no sense in keep this thing going. Man, I wish I could do acronyms. I can never remember what any of them mean. I'm doing I would really like to twist off and have a cigarette, snacking what I'm doing. Me spending an hour cooking dove on a open flame with an improvised Dutch oven. That video. And I couldn't even put I'm trying to come up with one where I can put the hunting stuff in it. Because with the hunting stuff in there, it's nearly an hour and a half long. And yeah. And if you split it anywhere, then neither video is worth watching by itself. So, that's not going to get many views. Just the way it is. But I'm going to put it out there anyway. That's why I wanted to premiere it. That way the people that really actually give a crap about what we do over here on the West Side channel will be there and come back and watch it. And then the ones that don't, it's their loss. So. Well, I don't want to put stuff out there for people to watch just because they're willing to watch. I want them to watch stuff. I want them to watch it because they're like, wow, I enjoy watching this. Not, well, that's Wes's new video. I should watch that. Oh. For the life of me, I wish I could come up with a better time slot to do a live stream. And so I can communicate, because there's a lot of people that don't come over here for the live streams. Well, and I'm aware that it's residuals from that BS that happened freaking a year ago or whenever. And you know, it come because of I cleared all my history and stuff, and my things rebooted and yada yada yada. My suggestions come up different. I was suggested to go to a place anyway. I did, and I was like, well, wow. So behavior that I thought had stopped a really long time ago apparently is still going on. And I don't want any of the small-minded, negative, ass-sucking people over here on my channel. So, yeah. European American Armory. I don't know. What's up? I'd have to Google the gum. And boom, thank you. All right, Zach, have a good one. Let me see if he'll let me Google that. called a Windicator. Windicator. It's been damn close to 2 pounds, well loaded. It's gonna be over 2 pounds loaded. Is it that little snub nose revolver? That's one that come up when I Googled it. All right, somebody killed Graham Ward. Just go ahead and hide him from my channel. I don't need that crap. That's what the blue wrenches are for. And see, notice how that stuff showed up just as soon as I said something about that other stuff going on and how they were still playing their games. I rest my case. They need to grow up and let it go. All right, Killdeer. My chat actually runs behind Jaws. So, I mean, there's a 3 or 4 second delay in my chat from the YouTube chat. So, where's Diorce's answer to my question? But Diorce is at the is it a snub nose revolver? That's the question. Which, if you're going to carry it all the time, then yeah, it needs to be. But this is my favorite. It's old. It's a Ruger Security 6. 357 Magnum. But I got 38s in it. No, I got Magnums in it. I keep Magnums in it. But I practice shooting with the 357 or with the 38. I actually like the 357 because simple fact that your options for ammunition are doubled. You can shoot 357 or you can shoot 38. Back when I developed the liking for them, 9mm was actually relatively new out there. And I'm still not sold on semi-automatic pistols as the way to do things. Simply because when you pull a semi-automatic, you know, okay, I've got 13 here, 13, I've got 26 rounds. You're more worried about getting the bullets out the end of the gun than you are making the bullet go where it's supposed to go. I can put all of those in this lid at 15 paces. And 15 paces for me is a little past 15 yards. It's like 18. So, and that's without really trying. I can't do that with my Beretta. I can't do it with the Glock. I can get a dinner plate, but the revolver's just, I'm sorry, the revolver's more accurate. See, I've thought about the Taurus guns or whatever we were going. I actually wish I want them to make a gun like this, but like the Nagant pistol with the roll forward cylinder, but I want it in the 357 or a 44, either one. And I want the longer barrel, like a 14, 15, 16-inch barrel, and then a shoulder deal. Because then your pistol, which you could make interchangeable barrels, your pistol could be either a pistol or a long gun that fast. But nobody's going to do that because it would be a very individual specific type of firearm. There's not going to be that many people out there that want them just because it's really cool, and it doesn't mean that it's actually something that somebody would do. You could sell somebody a gun that you stick your gun in and close up, and then all of a sudden your pistol becomes a rifle faster than you could sell them something that was actually a rifle that was a pistol. Why do I know? Because you can buy those all day long, and you know what? They don't shoot with what do they call them, Caltech or whatever. Yeah, it's not all the bullet holes that kill something. It's the fatal bullet hole that gets it done. That 357, it's a Kevlar vest. Even if it doesn't go through, that person is out of the fight because they're hurt. They're going to recover, but they're hurt. You can get those for that guy, for that gun right there. I can get full metal copper slugs. Ow. I wish I could, old man. The problem with that is they think those freaking things are made out of gold. It's actually what I want. Well, that's not entirely true. I want them to make a which lever action is fine, but because I always think in terms of hunting on guns. It is my fondest prayer that I never have to take a firearm and use it on another human being. I do not want the situation in my country to come to a point where I have to shoot at somebody. I never, ever, ever want to need a large capacity semi-automatic rifle. Never. I want it to be a toy until I die. I want it to be a useless purchase until my grandkids are old and have grandkids. Personally, I actually want a 7.62 by 39 in a bolt action, but I'm not giving you $1,200 for a rifle that ain't even got no fixed sights on it. You got to buy another $200 worth of junk just to put a scope on it. I mean, why can't you put iron sights on my bolt gun? Why can't I shoot up to 100 yards without having to buy a scope? Why do I have to automate? That's my Ruger. I love my Ruger. There's no iron sights on it. If my optics are damaged, I'm done. I mean, if my rifle scopes gets busted or whatever, my rifle is useless. It makes a lot of noise. That's it. I can't shoot anything with it. I would like one of the 30-30s from the 50s. Honestly, that would be like the bomb. Bolt action 30-30 with a built-in magazine. I think stuff. I think either 4, 5 rounds in the rifle, and that was it. What, a lever gun, old man? And she said, fine, she would stay gone, right, Rob? Wah, ha, 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 ha. Well, yeah, they make the bolt action in the caliber I want, but they Remington made a really nice 30-30 back in the day. Remington and Savage both did. Didn't Remington, the one with it had the like ashwood stock or whatever with they were real big on the black paint on the foregrip. Anyway, those were pretty. And a friend of mine, it was his dad's rifle. He still hunts with it. No, father-in-law's rifle. He still hunts with it. Yes, Dior. Yeah, I mean those were the prettiest flipping guns. I have a J.C. Higgins 22 that was like that. That's my favorite. Not J.C. Higgins. Stevens R&R. But I can't remember. Sears and Roebuck rifle. Does it have iron sights built on, Rob? That's what we're talking about. The fact that back in the day, whenever they made a rifle, they believed in it enough to send it out from the factory with iron sights on it that, chances are you were good at 100 yards. Now you get a barrel with some screw holes in top of it. That's it. All right, Emma, have a good one. Well, yeah, I got to remember, I'm not this guy that worships guns. I don't like memorize all the different names and brands and stuff. I'm just a bad human. I didn't do that with musicians either. Uh, yeah. So I'm going to have to make a phone call now. Well, yeah, you can get iron sights on an AR, but those are not attached to the actual weapon itself. For the most part, they're attached to pieces of the weapon. A 30-30, 30-06, any of your old bolt guns or whatever, you don't take the barrel off ever. Well, you can, but yeah, the you don't. The barrel's attached to the receiver, the chamber, all that. I mean, it's all there. ARs are basically just a bunch of parts stuck together to make a gun. You could throw 20 ARs in a room, and a guy could go in there and take them all apart and just put the barrels in one pile, the triggers in another pile, the receivers in another pile, and then you could just go there and just start grabbing pieces, blindfolded, and grab a piece out of each pile and put it together, and it would be an operational weapon. I mean, it's yeah. I can use a peep sight, but I have to have optics. But it's not that we have to have or whatever. It's just that if you don't have iron sights on your bolt gun and you drop that puppy, let's say in the the thing we're all worried about, this SHTF situation, you drop it, it gets kicked, you get into a guffaw, and it's either bash somebody in the face with your $2,000 optics or die. Surely you've got enough sense to throw away the optics to save your life or the life of your wife or whatever, or your comfort chihuahua, giraffe, elephant, whatever it is, you've got to save by destroying your high dollar rifle optic. Then it's gone. What do you do? Because now you have no way to aim your firearm. I mean, looking down the barrel, you could be pretty effective inside of 20 yards. But yeah, that's what you have your sidearm for. I don't understand why they stopped. Well, cool factor, I guess. They just stopped putting iron sights on rifles. I thought about going and getting some put on, but why should I have to pay extra for that? My Ruger doesn't have them. I mean, I didn't buy the Ruger; I inherited it, but still, I mean, okay, Killdeer, thanks. And I don't like the safety on my Model 70. 77. Anyway. It's not convenient. I've never shot a Mauser. Now, I would love to have a Browning 7mm. Browning made up back in the day, back in the 80s. They made a bolt gun. I forget the model of it, but man, those are nice rifles. But it's just any of the, like the 700s from the 80s, the ones where, oh, you got to be careful because those things will go off just from you setting it down. Not if you got the safety on. But anyhow, most of your guns from before mid-90s were actually really decent rifles. The little 22 caliber, the Model 60s or whatever, were rather annoying. They had an issue with the buying pin catching right on the when it would rack the next round. Instead of it locking in place and cocking, it would literally miss, and before it caught in the cocked ready to shoot position, your 22, your Model 60, your Remington Model 60, whatever, would put 2 to 3 rounds down range. We had one every once in a while, it would put 4 rounds down range for each pull of the trigger. It was a little unnerving. Took it to the gunsmith, and they took it apart and did some stuff to it and got it to where it would only do it every once in a great while. And the one they got out now, the little Plinkster or whatever, I played around with it some. I don't know that much about it. The 90s were all the people with their funny looking clothes suing the crap out of people. The 90s is when the left took all that. The 90s is when the left got all their traction. That's when the snowflakes were conceived for the most part. Late 80s. I personally think the world turned to crap in '88. People are like, oh, it's going to be the end of the world, 1988. And everybody's like, nah, nothing happened in 1988. And, dude, it's been headed downhill ever since. And when we were already at the top, kind of getting ready to slide over when we got to 88. You don't have to be Zach. You just have to realize that all the stuff you were taught by Hollywood and, your parents from my age group and the one directly under me, the 40s and 50s guys were, we were full of shit. We're not fixing the wrongs of those who came before us. We're feeding the wrongs of those who want to possess everything after us. It is 11 o'clock here. That's 2 hours and 3 minutes. I'm going to bounce out of here. All you people to have a good life. Really appreciate the conversation, the time together. I personally think, the Ruger 1022 is a overhyped POS. They have jamming problems. They are capable of putting entirely too many rounds downrange with aftermarket stuff than the gun can take itself. The factory sights and stuff like that are fragile as crap. The 1022 is just a fun gun. That's it. It's not a good gun. So, I just saw that in the chat, or I won't look at it anymore. But function-wise, between the Marlin, the Model 60, and the 1022, I have the same issues with both guns. But a lot of the jamming issues and blowout and stuff like that could be difference from one cartridge to another cartridge in the ammunition. But listen, love all you people. Y'all have a good life. I want y'all to stay alive, don't die. All right. God bless. I will see y'all Tuesday at the Bible study or not. I'll see y'all next Saturday. Been going live at 8:30, 8:45 every Saturday for way over 2 years now. So I'll see y'all here.